Good morning, I'm Maiki Oreta, and you're watching Basis Points, where we dive deep into the numbers and the stories that drive our economy and shape our world. The headlines. Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs, are shuttered for good as the government cancels gaming licenses. What's next for the Philippines? The Securities and Exchange Commission gets tough on delinquents. Thousands of companies could shut down for failing to file reports. Who's on that chopping block? 81 billion pesos in smuggled goods seized. Customs breaks records in its biggest crackdown yet on illegal trade. First, let's take a quick look at the financial markets. In the United States, stocks ended Friday's session nearly flat in a quiet trading day. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average both posted weekly losses, while the Nasdaq extended its winning streak to 4 weeks. Now, the Dow was down by 0.2%, S&P 500 flat, and the Nasdaq higher slightly, up by just 0.1%.
I think we're seeing a stock market that just does not know where to go. We've seen a lot of good, strong economic data play out here over the last several weeks. We certainly got a Trump bump. We got, again, good data along the way. Got some pretty dicey inflation data here recently, which obviously slowed things down a bit. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that the market's not trading down today. Pleasantly surprised. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual as we head here into the weekend.
Over in Europe, markets closed lower on Friday as investors reacted to weak economic data from the United Kingdom and from Germany. The FTSE 100 lower by 0.1%, the DAX down by 0.1%, and the CAC 40 down by nearly 0.2%. Now, the government nullifies hundreds of licenses for Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs, effective immediately. PAGCOR Chairman and CEO Alejandro Tenco orders the non-renewal of permits following President Bongbong Marcos's directive to ban all POGOs by the end of the year. Out of 300 licensed operators, only 7 POGOs now hold active PAGCOR permits. Meanwhile, over 21,000 foreign workers affected by the ban have applied to downgrade their visas with the Immigration Bureau. This signals the government's strong push to end the controversial industry amid crime and legal issues. The ban is expected to impact government revenue, jobs, and the real estate sector, especially here in Metro Manila. On another front, the country's financial system resources hit a record 3.8 trillion pesos up in October, up 9% from last year. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says this growth is driven by higher deposits, loans, income, and capital. This is notable improvement from the 30.1 trillion pesos recorded in the same period last year. The banking sector dominates the financial system, contributing 27.3 trillion pesos. Digital banks, however, steal the spotlight with a massive 34.8% increase in resources, now totaling 113.8 billion pesos. As of October, the banking sector's total assets reached 26.4 trillion pesos, with liabilities at 23.1 trillion pesos. This reflects a robust financial system that's growing stronger due to increased economic activity. It also highlights the rapid growth of digital banks, signaling a shift in how Filipinos are managing money in the digital age. A global group is teaming up with the Philippines to boost infrastructure investments, focusing on energy. The Coalition for Emerging Market Infrastructure Investment launched its first ever country platform in the Philippines. The group, led by the Indo-Pacific Partnership for Prosperity, brings together governments, business leaders, and other partners to find ways to attract more investments in infrastructure. Special Assistant to the President, Frederick Go, and U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo were among the top officials at the event. Experts say the Philippines needs over $300 billion in investments by 2040 to switch to clean energy and build better infrastructure. This partnership could help the Philippines find funding to improve energy supply and speed up development. More than 11,600 companies could be suspended by the Securities and Exchange Commission for not filing their annual reports. The law requires all companies to submit annual financial statements and general information sheets. The SEC says it can suspend or even cancel the registration of companies that fail to comply. According to the SEC, 11,677 companies have not filed their reports for 8 straight years, from 2015 to 2022. The Commission is urging these companies to use its compliance incentive plan to avoid suspension. This is a strong reminder for companies to file their reports now to avoid suspensions or other serious penalties. The holiday travel rush is here. Over 110,000 travelers are expected to arrive in the Philippines this holiday season. That's according to the Bureau of Immigration. Immigration Chief Joel Anthony Viado says last year's Christmas weekend saw over 53,000 daily arrivals and 43,000 departures. This year, expect even bigger crowds. The numbers could break pre-pandemic records. To keep things running smoothly, the BI is pulling out all the stops. No vacations for frontline officers during the peak season, ensuring full staff at airports. They're also adding extra manpower to help process passengers faster. It's going to be busy, but the BI promises to keep the holiday travel experience as merry and as bright as possible. We're taking a quick break. Please stay with us as we dive deep into the numbers and the narratives that matter most to your bottom line.
Two reasons why. I think the first one is I come from a rice farming background in Ilocos Norte. I have relatives that does rice farming and really saw the complexities that they saw every single day. And second is really my immersion in Singapore. Earlier this year, I went to Singapore and I interned for a startup that helped shrimp farmers manage the risks of disease testing in Vietnam. So having to understand that risks is the biggest, most vulnerable factors that affect farming, I tried to apply that in the Philippines, and AgriConnect came to be.
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront.
It's still continuing with hearings on the EJ.
But we can recommend the filing of cases with the proper offices or agencies.
It is always victimizing the poor, so we will continue to go against corruption in the budget.
At the Forefront with attorney Karen Jimeno, 8 a.m.
This is The Scorecard,
where you score the latest sports news
and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
I'm Erica Christensen.
Get ready. Be prepared. Get to the latest stories, updates, and reports about what's happening in the world of sports. Hosted by Anton Rojas, Erica Christensen.
Where sports is our business and business is our sport.
The Scorecard, 9:30 p.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back to Basis Points. Trading at the Philippine Stock Exchange opened just a few minutes ago. Let's take a look at the initial figures. As of 9:40 this morning, the PSE index is in the red, down by 0.3%. Starting this Monday session, this trading week in the red, below the 6,600 level. We're now at 65.95. The broader all shares index down as well, down by as much, down by 0.3% to 37.40. Note that last Friday, the PSE index ended lower by 0.4% to 66.17. This was its third straight day of losses. Now, intraday last Friday, the market fell below 6,500. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Early in the session, the market's falling below the 6,600 level. Maybe, as in last Friday's session, it'll bounce back towards as trading progresses. Now, last Friday, trading activity was subdued. Net turnover was just at just under 4 billion pesos at 3.92 billion. And week on week, last week, the PSE was down 1.7%, really reflecting a cautious market sentiment as investors await interest rate decisions from both the U.S. Federal Reserve and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. That's coming up on December 17 to 18 in the U.S. and December 19, strategically a day after for the BSP. Now, analysts are pricing in a 25 basis point rate cut both in the U.S. and here at home. Now, as for the market, we're still in the red, down by 0.3% to 65.94, below the 6,600 support level. Out of all the sub-indices, everything's in the red, especially the financial sector that's down by a little over 1%. The only sector bucking the market's downtrend right now is the services counter, up by 0.3%. And at the foreign exchange market, the peso opened much weaker at 58.60 against the greenback from its previous close of 58.47. In other news, the Clark International Airport Corporation, or CIAC, announces it has surpassed its full-year revenue target, hitting 109% by the end of September. This year's target is also 24% higher than last year's, though CIAC didn't share the exact figures. Now, looking ahead, Clark Airport is targeting 750 million pesos in revenue for 2024, banking on plans to attract more businesses to its complex. So far this year, CIAC has generated 680 million pesos, a 3% increase from 2022. CIAC President Joseph Alcazar credits this growth to their efforts to bringing in new locators into the airport complex. Currently, they host 48 locators, and they plan to add 16 more by the end of this year, with another 5 expected in 2024. Clark Airport is not just about flights, it's growing into a business hub and a key driver of economic growth. The Bureau of Customs seizes contraband worth 81 billion pesos this year, its biggest haul to date. Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service says more than 1,000 apprehensions were made thanks to improved intelligence and operations. Confiscations have almost doubled since 2022, when the agency recovered 24 billion pesos worth of contraband from 729 raids. Customs Commissioner Bienvenido Rubio credits good governance and strong anti-smuggling measures for that success, adding that cooperation with partners has been key to achieving these results. President Marcos recently donated seized frozen mackerel worth over 178 million pesos to address food security as part of a broader initiative to support Filipino families. Overall, this is a boost for the Philippine economy as it protects local businesses from illegal competition while also supporting national food security goals. Now, in other news, Bitcoin hits a new record, jumping over 3% to more than $105,000 during early Asian trading Monday. The surge comes after Donald Trump, following his election victory, promised to support cryptocurrencies and make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. Bitcoin reached a high of $105,142 and is currently up 3.3%, trading at $104,760 per token. It first broke past the $100,000 mark on December 5th, and it has doubled in value this year. Bitcoin's record-breaking run shows that the market's confidence in crypto is there, but investors should stay alert as big swings in value, up or down, are always possible. We're taking a quick breather. Basis Points will be right back.
Good morning, everyone!
A platter of positivity, a cup of the hottest information, and a slice of what to expect for the whole day. With excitement, positivity, and fun. Join Paulo Del Rosario, Ann Asis Carrillo, and Monique Tuzon.
It's a beautiful day!
7 a.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Magandang araw, Pilipinas! Sa bawat issue may iba't ibang anggulo. Sa bawat storya may iba't ibang kwento.
Himayin natin ang bawat sulok at bawat kanto mula sa iba't ibang perspektibo na madaling maintindihan ng karaniwang mamamayan.
Every Saturday na mga magdadag to 11:30 a.m. Kaya huwag kayong papahuli, mga kababayan. Manatiling may pakialam sa mga issue sa ating bansa kaya samahan niyo kami. Dito lang sa Cuatro Cantos!
it has no authorization.
We hope and pray that it will not.
Thanks for having me here.
An orchestrated
By myself, basically.
We always say that.
It depends.
A well-concerted effort.
Perhaps I can reiterate. My greatest beefsteak. Iba pa na.
Magandang gabi, ako si Corina Sanchez Rojas.
Magandang gabi, ako po si Pinky Webb.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
Nasa radyo na, mapapanood, mapapakinggan.
94.7 FM.
Nahaharap ngayon ang Estados Unidos sa isa na namang 4 na taong Trump presidency.
Death squad rin yan.
Binawi niya yung sinabi niya.
Ing masalimuot ang buwan ng Oktubre para sa ilang bilyonaryo. Sa bawat issue may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
Welcome back to Basis Points. Britain makes history as the first European nation to join a major Indo-Pacific trading bloc. On Sunday, the UK officially became the 12th member of the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP. This membership is expected to boost Britain's struggling economy by up to $2.5 billion a year. The CPTPP includes G7 members Canada and Japan, as well as key allies Australia and New Zealand. Other members are Brunei, Chile, Malaysia, Mexico, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam. Formed in 2018, the trading alliance is seen as a counterweight to China's growing influence in the region. The UK's move to join the CPTPP could open new trade opportunities, strengthen ties with Indo-Pacific partners, and reinforce global trade networks. Elsewhere, South Korea's acting president Han Duck-soo assures that the country's security and foreign policies will remain stable despite the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol over a martial law declaration. Han has already spoken with United States President Joe Biden, reaffirming that the strong alliance between Seoul and Washington will remain intact. Meanwhile, the main opposition party says it will not pursue impeachment against Han for his involvement in the November 3 martial law decision. President Yoon and other top officials could still face serious charges, including insurrection, abuse of authority, and blocking citizens from exercising their rights. The political turmoil in South Korea is unlikely to affect ties with the United States, but it may shake investor confidence and South Korea's business reputation. Leaders need to act swiftly there to reassure markets. Now, tragic news from Spain. The founder of global fashion brand Mango, Isaac Andic, has died in a mountain accident. He was 71 years old. Reports say Andic slipped and fell over 100 meters while hiking with his family near the Montserrat Caves just outside of Barcelona. Mango's CEO, Tony Ruiz, expressed deep sorrow, saying Andic's legacy will live on through the company that he built. Born in Istanbul, Andic moved to Spain in the 1960s and founded Mango in 1984, turning it into a global fashion empire with nearly 2,800 stores worldwide. Forbes lists his net worth at $4.5 billion, around 264 billion pesos, making him one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. Condolences from business leaders worldwide have poured in, honoring Andic as a visionary who changed the fashion industry. Andic's passing leaves a void in global fashion and business. Mango will need strong leadership to maintain its global presence while the industry mourns the loss of one of its most innovative pioneers. And now, before we go, thousands of Santas swapped their reindeers for motorcycles this weekend, riding through the streets of Barcelona in their iconic red and white attire. Motorbike enthusiasts took part in this annual Christmas tradition in the Catalan city. While the event drew some criticism for its impact on pollution and traffic, it also attracted tourists and boosted local businesses, from restaurants to holiday merchandise vendors. Meanwhile, in Mexico, thousands of participants in Santa costumes joined a fun run over the weekend. Adults, children, and even pet dogs took part in this festive event. The fun run, which started in 2018, has become a holiday tradition that brings people together and boosts economic activity in La Mexicana Park and surrounding areas through spending on event merchandise, food, and transport. Events like these highlight the power of holiday celebrations to drive tourism and consumer spending, creating economic opportunities for local and global businesses. Before we go, let's take another look at one of today's big stories. Bitcoin hits a new record, jumping over 3% to more than $105,000 during early Asian trading Monday. The surge comes after Donald Trump, following his election victory, promised to support cryptocurrencies and make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. Bitcoin reached a high of $105,142 and is currently up by 3.3%, trading at $104,760 per token. It first broke past the $100,000 mark on December 5th and has doubled in value this year. Bitcoin's record-breaking run shows the market's confidence in crypto, but investors should also stay alert, as big swings in value, either up or down, are always possible. And that's it for Basis Points. I'm Maiki Oreta. We'll be back next week for more news on the we'll be back tomorrow for more news on the financial markets and more. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo news channel, always on top.